This is the American Wing Girls Modeling Podcast, episode number 1.
Podcasting live from Northeast Texas, the home of the cowboys, cowgirls, Texas country music, and beautiful Texas sunsets. This is the American Wing Girls Podcast, a weekly podcast about the modeling and promotional industries. And now, here's your host, friend, and business branding expert, Paul Robertson.
Well, welcome to this first episode of the American Wing Girls Modeling Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Robertson, and today we have a very special person on the call. Her name is Franki Osburn. She is a promotional model, and she is also the owner of the Texas Young Guns, her modeling agency here in Northeast Texas. I think today's podcast is going to be very useful for our audience because most of you are aspiring promotional models or girls that have already been doing some promo, and she's going to give you a different perspective about the industry, about her experiences, how she got started, her experiences as a business owner, and what she expects from her girls, and basically it's a really good insightful interview about what you can expect in promo and how you can get started and how you can be successful. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play the call now and let you meet Franki Osburn. Well, welcome to the call. This is Franki Osburn, and today we're going to be doing an interview with Franki about doing promotional modeling. And Franki has a very interesting perspective because she is a promo model, but she's also the owner of a modeling agency that she started, and she's going to talk a little bit about that. So I want to start by saying that I have the website American Wing Girls is it's primarily about promotional modeling, but the podcast is going to cover all the aspects of modeling, such as fitness modeling and fashion modeling and print. Because I want this to be a community about modeling and photography. I have found that photography has become a passion of mine. The more I learn and get better at it, the more I find that, it's like creating art. I can't draw, I can't paint, but I found that I can take a picture, I can edit a picture, and then there's different perspectives about creating photography, creating photos and doing photo shoots that it's very interesting. So everybody that's listening to these podcasts, I hope that you get some great information. You get a different perspective from people that's already doing this stuff. They're creating photos. They're actually building careers in photography. And today, Franki is going to talk about her experiences in this and how she got started and what she's involved in right now. So with further ado, how you doing today, Franki?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. Thank you so much for calling me in to do this. I think I have a lot to say. I think a lot of people would be interested since I'm just a small town girl, and it seems like, sitting back, I've actually done it all almost.
Yes, you have.
So I'm excited to share.
Just for some of you that don't know, Franki and I are actually friends. We've known each other for about a year and a half now, maybe? A year and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's kind of this is the first podcast, so I was like, you know what, let me talk to someone that I know. This is new to all of us, including myself, but I hope that I get better and better at these podcasts. But I know Franki has a lot of experience in that she can actually help a lot of people because she has both perspectives as the model and actually the agency. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you, Franki, let's hear a little bit more about your background. Like, where are you from? Where did you go to school? What did you do while you were in school? What are some of your hobbies? So go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm actually a very small town girl. I can act city, so I guess that's good. But I'm probably as country as it gets. I came from a little town in East Texas called Overton, which is super tiny, like 1A school. I went there, graduated in '05, and I literally played every sport besides twirling and tennis. Then I actually got married and had a child right out of high school, and he's 6 years old now. He's awesome as ever. And I went to college the whole time while I was pregnant, worked full-time, and my gosh, it was nuts. I intentionally went to school to be a nurse, and then I decided to change my major because I liked more of the lab stuff. Microbiology was my favorite subject. I don't know why people don't like sciences.
Yes, that's my favorite subject.
Everybody's like, microbiology. I'm like, yes.
I wanted to get into zoology. That's mine, like beach whales and things like that.
Yes.
Of course, I can't swim that well, so I thought about it. I was like, maybe not the best career.
I know. Well, people look at me now and they go, what? You wanted to be, a scientist? And I'm like, well, heck yeah. I'm sitting here, promo girl, here's my portfolio and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they're like, scientist? What the heck?
Exactly.
But, yeah, so that was my goal. And then I figured out that I was really good at sales and really, good with dealing with people. So I kind of wanted to get a little bit into the marketing. Well, it kind of just fell in my lap, and I don't even have time for school anymore to go ahead and finish with my bachelor's or anything like that, which I guess is a good thing. I'm at a good stopping point, so I can always go back. I think it's important to set yourself up for success rather than failure, so don't ever waste your time with anything. So I was at a good stopping point. Just business is busy, and, promoing started out because I needed some extra money because I had a 6-year-old son. Me and my husband, unfortunately, got a divorce, which is fine, I think it was the better deal. We were best friends, not husband and wife type deal. So I needed the extra cash. So that's how I started getting into this business, promoing, and then modeling kind of fell into it. So small town girl, definitely had a lot to learn. So.
Well, a lot of girls, one of the reasons why they get into promotion modeling, from what I've learned from my involvement in the industry, is that at first they just need cash. The economy is hard. It's really tough right now. And
right. Well, and the market targets the girls that are in college. So
exactly.
College kids always need money.
And I think college and even high school is a great time to get involved in it, because a lot of advertisers and big brands out there, that's their target market. And so, that's who they're looking for. And believe it or not, most girls do not think about, I could do promotional modeling. So it's a very competitive industry, but there's still a lot of opportunities for the younger that you are. That's what I believe. So
Definitely. I think a lot of girls sit back and they think, I'm not good enough to do that. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. When in actuality, yes, you are. And people are looking for you. They're looking for you all over the place. You just got to make yourself out there and available and carry yourself well, of course. That's one of the big key factors, is looking for the right girl. So.
And I want your opinion on this. I've written a couple of posts about this. From what I understand and from my experience, because I've actually had my own modeling agency for a little while, and then I've been talking to a lot of successful models. But I've written that for promotional modeling, actually, beauty is probably the secondary thing. Being able to do business, being able to sell, and be professional is probably the number one asset you can have, besides being very, good looking and stuff. I want your opinion on this, because a lot of girls think, I can't be a promotional model because I don't look like that girl over there. She's really beautiful, and I don't look as good as she does. And when I don't believe that that's necessarily the case when you're talking about promo. When you're talking about promo, I think as long as you look nice and you look presentable and you're professional and you can sell and you have the personality, I personally believe that's what's going to get you the work.
Right. Well, I agree to that to a certain extent, and then some not. For the simple fact that selling is always a plus, because you're always selling something, whether you realize it or not. Just going out to dinner or something, you're still selling yourself. You really are. The way that you present yourself, the way you handle yourself. As far as modeling, it's still selling yourself. Or you put together good? Do you look good? And you may not be in, top physical shape, You may not have the six-pack, but, everybody looks more for the girl next door, not the Playboy girl, no. Because you, yourself, what you're comfortable in is going to sell. For instance, let's say that you're just a tad bit overweight. We still may need you. I mean, you take care of yourself. You may not be in a bathing suit calendar, but high fashion is in. And they're not taking the stick figures anymore. They're taking the good, confident women.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's okay to be extremely overweight, but I'm saying as far as the way that you handle yourself and your confidence, like I said, not overly confident, that's a big no-no. But if you're having fun, you have a smile on your face, and you take care of yourself, then we need you. It's honestly what it boils down to, because if you're having fun and you're smiling, you're having a good time, you're selling, and you don't realize it. You can have the worst day. Like, I'm a really good salesperson, and I really don't look for people that sell. I think that people, whenever I hire girls that already sell, I absolutely hate it. I already go ahead and think that, okay, they're going to be on the borderline, because most people that think they know how to sell, they're super pushy, and you don't want the pushiness. So as long as you have fun, you're selling, and that's a good point.
Okay. Yeah, because we were talking earlier about selling on the fly, and that's kind of what you're kind of explaining, that you don't really have time to do a pitch. And I'm glad you said that, because when I was saying about selling, I'm not necessarily saying you need to be a car salesman, because that's not what nobody wants to deal with that. If I'm out drinking or I'm out with my friends, I do not want somebody coming up here trying to sell me something. Like you're saying, I'm talking about selling yourself. And by representing yourself the right way, you represent your brand that you're being hired to promote. You're representing them the right way.
Exactly.
I think.
And I mean, girls can, as long as you pluck your eyebrows, put on a little lip gloss, put on a little bit of eye makeup, not overdo it, but you get yourself ready. Don't show up to a promo with your hair pulled up in a ponytail type deal. This is all involving selling. And if you are a promo girl or want to be a promo girl, you normally have some promo item on for your uniform, or you have koozies in your hand, or you're handing out beer. With Jaeger, we have these huge leather bags full of all these goodies, and you have to help push people off of your other girls and stuff and keep everybody aside. And as far as selling, make them do something funny. I've had the funniest thing I've made somebody do for a T-shirt, a Jaeger T-shirt, was do the worm across the dance floor. I mean, everybody loved it. And, we were out there laughing and giggling and pointing, yay, check it out, he wins a free T-shirt, But, I mean, that's how you sell. They have fun. They're going to want to join the party. That's the object of a promo girl, liven up the party.
And basically, from what you're saying, it's all about your personality. What I've learned, the worst thing you can do as a promotional model is to go to a job and just clam up and not say anything, not have any kind of personality, and just go around saying, "Hey, you want a koozie?" I mean, that's not what people are looking for.
You can't be the bump on the log or the party pooper by any means.
Exactly. It's kind of like when you go out with your friends and you're not worried about anything, you're just going out to have a good time. Well, you act yourself. You're laughing, you're cracking jokes, you're having a good time, and everybody sees you having a good time, and people want to be around people that are having a good time because they want to have a good time. And so that's kind of like what we're talking about here is you go, you're on a job, but you go and have a good time in a respectful manner, but you go out and have a good time, and then that good time transfers into sales for that company because they look at, wow, those Miller girls, they were fun. You know what? Maybe I will drink a Miller.
Yeah, I know. You have that everywhere though. Whenever I was a Bud girl, they go, "Oh no, we need Miller," and I'm like, "I used to be a Miller girl, or I am a Miller girl too." But you're gonna drink Bud tonight. Do you want a free one or not? How much do you love the Bud girls?
Right.
You just have to be demanding and kind of fun though and outgoing. For real, you're gonna turn down this free beer. We're in a recession and you're turning down free alcohol. Just you have to think on the top of your head. I do want to mention though, the aspect of being scared to death on your promos and stuff. Don't be scared to get out of your skin. It's okay. Be comfortable. At first, you're going to be nervous. I'm telling you right now, I still do stupid stuff and go, what the heck was I doing? I literally was dancing one time with this old man at a bar I think I was doing Bud Light Platinum. So we had these cute little platinum dresses on. This old man was so good. Some people might know who I'm talking about, the little old man at Graham's that can dance so good.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. Blue is what everybody calls him, I think. I don't know. He's awesome. But so he's spinning me like crazy, and I love it. He's the best one to dance with. I see a friend. And so I stop spinning. I get, step over my foot, trip, and fall in the middle of the ramp with my Bud Light Platinum dress on. Well, you can either go, oh, crap, I can't believe I just did that. I'm embarrassed. What do I do? Or jump up and go, yay, I'm okay.
Or laugh about it. Exactly.
Yeah,
You're not taking yourself too seriously.
Oh, yeah. I'm the first one to jump on the, whenever they have that riding bull, the bucking bull. Oh, my gosh, I love that thing. Oh, I love it. But, I mean, you're going to fall off and look like a dork. But as long as you're comfortable and you don't care. Everybody else is like, I can't believe she just did that. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Just have fun. Be yourself. And that's what's the most important thing. Don't be drunk or nothing like that. You can't do that. That is a very, very bad reputation, which you don't need to get into. Handle yourself well. Let everybody know that they can be you, and you can be them. Things happen to everybody. Just have fun. It's more, they feel like you're a real person. Some people put promo girls when you're like representing Bud Light, Budweiser, Jaeger, Miller, Coors. I mean, I've done it all, but they always put you on a pedestal like, you're going to be stuck up, or you've got everything. You've been in the calendar. You've done this. You've been in this poster. You're wearing that. I can't believe it. They think that, like, they can't touch you, like you're not real. And when you let them know that you're just a down-to-earth girl having a good time and you're representing this company to the best you can, then that's whenever you get personable with those girls and everybody feels like they can be a part of something. So I think that that's important.
Exactly. See, like the brands that you represent, they want customers to feel like, you know what, I like these people. They're down to earth. They're just like me. And because they're just like me, I like what their brand stands for, so I'm going to drink their brand. And a lot of people don't understand that each brand has its own persona. It has its own thing that it claims, and you probably know this better than I do. Each brand of alcohol has its own market that it's going after,
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, like, if you say you're gorgeous, but you have no personality, believe it or not, people aren't going to want to be around you as much as they're going to want to be around that girl that maybe she's not as gorgeous as you are, but she's fun in a bottle. You go around her and you're going to laugh the entire time she's there. And when she leaves to go to another bar, you're thinking, hey, I'm thinking I might just follow you. Yeah, exactly. I might go with y'all. And that's what you want to do. It's just have a good time, but do it in a professional way. And like I'm saying, don't take yourself so seriously. If you make a mistake, laugh about it and go on. There are people who are going to be like, wow, that's a real person. That's not just someone just saying stuff for the brand.
Right. And, your name is important, too. You're representing the company, but, I have people that come up to me, oh, my gosh, you're Franki Osburn. I may leave a promo one night and have, 20 different people add me on Facebook because they figured out who I was. And I literally had to make my Facebook public about 2 years ago because it started getting so bad.
Right.
But, I mean, that makes me feel good. I feel like I've done a good job whenever, people remember me. And I feel so bad because I'm so bad with names. But I remember faces. But, they'll go, oh, hey, you're still to this day. You're the Jaeger girl. You're the Bud girl. You're the Miller girl. You're the Texas Young Guns owner. I want to be a part of your team. And that's what you want. You want all positive, no negative. You want everybody to feel like they can go hang out with you at the bar during their spare time. Making that connection with your customers is very, 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 very important. I can't stress it enough. You want everybody to still feel like they could be your new best friend.
Right.
And, it's the downside about that is that I can go into Walmart in my pajamas, no makeup, my hair pulled up, and people still figure me out. And I'm going, geez, I should have taken time to get ready. You know what?
Right.
Sometimes when they see me like that, they're like, you're normal. You got a pimple on your face. Yay.
I think that's a product of being in a small town.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it sounds funny, but they feel like they can relate to you, and they can be
Right.
with you, and come up to you in a bar. And I went to the bar for the first time without doing a promo in months. Last night, actually,
Uh-huh.
and I told I was with my boyfriend and all that stuff, and I was like, we're gonna have just 2 beers, go in and say hi. We haven't seen anybody in a long time. I was there for 1 hour, and for 45 minutes. It was saying hi and bye to everybody. I mean, I literally danced one song, and it was just all business. But, I mean, people come up to me, and they have such a positive, they know that I'm going to be like, hey, you look great today. How have you been? Checking up with them, being more personable. And I know that sometimes it's like, geez, I know I'm going to this bar and only have 10 minutes worth of playtime. But still, people seeing you and acknowledging you and knowing you and stuff like that, it is a big plus. It is. It makes you feel good, too, like you're doing something right.
Right. It's like being a small-town celebrity, really what it becomes.
Well, I moved to Chapel Hill, which is the Tyler area.
Okay.
I'd say about 6 years ago. So, yeah, so Tyler's my territory now.
I hear you. Well, you know what? That's a good segue into the next thing I want to talk about. A lot of girls, especially in the community, and you probably have seen this, are having problems finding jobs because they live in very small markets, very small towns, and there's just not a lot going on. And and a lot of them are wondering, how in the world do you even get into this? And what I try to tell a lot of people is there's really not any one way to get into it. And so, like on these podcasts, I want to hear the way they get into it from the very beginning, because once you start understanding how this person got in and how that person got in, you begin to say, oh, well, you know what? There are different ways for me to do this. And so I want to ask you, what's your first experience with promo and modeling and the whole industry? How did you get started?
Well, I actually had a crochet-ish. One of my friends was a Miller girl. About 6 years ago, she got into it, and they had an opening, but she didn't say anything about me, and I was dying to do it. I thought, okay, well, just like any other girl, I want to be able to go have fun and make money. I mean, who doesn't? Go ahead and get sponsored by Miller and wear it. I mean, come on. It's the best job in the world. But I was actually working at a bar also, and my friend that worked for Miller came in with her rep. The Miller reps are always the ones that you want to impress the most. And I became available to her, and I said, hi, my name is Franki Osburn. Whenever you have an opening, I think you should definitely look into me. I'm really good, outgoing. At the time, I had the highest sales, which I still have the highest sales, and it's been years since I worked at that bar as a shop girl. And I was like, I know how to sell. I know that, being outgoing, personality, and all that stuff is a good sales point. Plus, I'm very reliable. I'll always be there on time and ready to go. I think you should definitely look into me whenever you just get a chance, and I just kind of left it at that. Not like I was begging for a job or anything. I just knew that she was the one to impress, because my friend really wasn't saying anything for an input. I mean, this is, with you, Paul, you are awesome. And the network of girls that, are with American Wing Girls, everybody likes to help everybody out. And that's the way it should be. But most of the time, girls get egotistical and they don't want to share. It's like they're halfway famous or something like that, and they don't want to extend it to their friends. They may be better than them, But I literally got through it. I saw the rep, and I knew who she was, and I got in. Got in, and it was great. But it's just the way that you hold yourself, and know when to speak up, when not to speak up, when to push the buttons, when not to, because you don't want to come across annoying or anything like that. I tell you one thing, that with my company, I have a lot of people that find me on Facebook or something like that, and they want to work for me so bad, which is great. I love it. But the deal is you can't hound somebody. And whenever you hound somebody, we're going to push you away. Now, if you email me or send me a message on Facebook how to get in, I tell you exactly what to do. That's exactly what I need you to do. And if you do that to the best you can, like, for instance, all I say is send me your resume, and I need photos of you. And photos do not have to be professional, and I want your full dang resume, not just your promo or your modeling. If you're wanting to apply, that's fine. If you have no experience whatsoever, write down your resume, because I'm also looking at, do you go to college? What are your hours for work? What do you do? All of these can be benefits, whether you realize it or not, or, I can see what you actually do for a living, or that you do nothing. It's everything's meant to, be asked, and there is a reason behind everything. It's not, if you go to college nights on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, I know I'm not going to ask you to work a promo on Tuesday or Thursday. You may can hand out some flyers for me at college on Tuesday and Thursday. Something like that to get ready, get geared up to go for events and stuff. So just pay attention, know your options, and somebody's always watching. Always.
Right.
Somebody's going to remember the negative more than the positive. If you walk in with your shoulders back, your head held high, you're friendly, you talk to everybody, not as many people are going to remember that versus the drunk girl at the bar that was wallowing on the floor. And that's the deal. And I have to look at that as a business owner. How is this girl's reputation already? Is she going to benefit our team or not? And it could be something that happened 3 years ago, but it's something that's still lingering on your reputation. So just, I guess that's the best advice I can get. Do exactly what you're told when the opportunity's there. Because if I had a girl that sent me an email, right after I told her, what to do, and I didn't have to ask her for any more information. She already had it all down. I'm more than likely going to hire them. So.
Right. Let me add on some to that from my experience from when I had American Wing Girls as a modeling agency. I like what you just said because, all right, you put out an announcement. Hey, I'm hiring. I need girls. Send me your resume. Send me photos. Well, guess what? Most of the time, this is on Facebook. And if you sent me your resume and you sent me a photo, and then I'm naturally going to want to go check you out real quick. And what's the fastest way for me to do that? It's for me to get on your Facebook.
Yeah, your profile.
Right. And if I get on your right, it sounds bad, but at the same time, you're trying to protect your reputation and the girls that you already have. So if you get on Facebook and all you see is F-bomb this and this, F-bomb that, and and just drama, I'm not hiring you.
No, I'm not hiring you.
Right.
No.
Right, because it's like I already see the problem. And so Facebook can betray you in that way. So what I would say is the same thing you're saying. If you want to get in this business, you are representing yourself at all times, not just when you're on the job. And so when you're on Facebook, you need to be upbeat, positive. If you have a problem with someone, you need to send private messages. You don't need to get on the public stream F-bombing this and F-bombing that and just talking about this person, talking about that person. When you're out in public, you need to represent yourself the right way because I got horror stories that I'm not going to reveal on this podcast.
Oh.
But I've told you about those, and there are some horror stories that, eventually led me to believe I didn't even want to have a modeling agency because it just seemed like I couldn't find enough girls that I could trust to represent themselves the right way. And so if you're thinking about getting into promo, that's half the battle right there. It's all about perception and your reputation. If you have
how everybody perceives you. And I know that sounds retarded. And I mean, individuality is great. It is good, but you just have to watch the way you handle yourself. I mean, we want ladies. We want ladies that are professional, outgoing and fun, not drama seekers. And, it's hard to find a good-looking, 18 to 25-year-old girl, that's willing to be hardworking and all that stuff that's not drama. It really is harder than what you think. Well, not for you, Paul. You already know.
You know what? Let me add on right quick and now let you finish. I think the problem is, and this is something I'm trying to hammer down into this on my website, is that when you start doing promo, you're not just going out and getting a job. You're actually starting your own business. And if you're not conducting yourself in a business-like manner, but yet being able to do the job, nobody's going to want to do anything with you. And if you're trying to sign up for these bigger agencies like Push Models and all those people, the reason why they don't train you and the reason why they don't really show you the ropes is because they're already looking at you as if you're a business that knows what it's supposed to be doing. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of like what this is all about. We're trying to help you get an idea of what you need to be trying to work on. And Frankie's doing a great job because these experiences she has are priceless, and you should learn from them so that you don't go through some of the things I've had to go through myself when I was heavily involved in that part of the business. Um, so, Frankie, if you do you have anything else to add to that?
Not really. I think we pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. It's just very, very important. Very, very important. I can't stress to you how much it definitely makes a difference, especially when it comes to hiring. You can have a beautiful girl that is nothing but drama, or you can have a mediocre girl that is fun and outgoing and positive on lock. You're going to pick the one that's positive on lock versus a very pretty girl. You're going to go, dang, what a waste. She's so good looking, but I can't have her on my team. She's a liability, and I'm not doing it.
Right. And so one thing, like, just to segue from that, I was talking about starting your own business. Having a business mind is going to help you in this industry so much because if you don't treat it like a business and you don't have a business mind when you're talking to agents and recruiters and people that's hiring, people can pick that up really quick and they're like, all right, this girl, she may that it doesn't mean that they're not going to hire you. It just means their expectations lower a little bit. They're like, okay, this person's they're just learning. They're not really treating this as a business and know what you're doing. But that doesn't necessarily disqualify you. It just gets their perception of you as, you're learning, And so, like, thinking about it as a business, one interesting thing about Frankie is that she actually was in the Mary Kay business. And from what she told me, she was doing very well in that. And so, could you tell us just a little bit about that? Because I think that business kind of helped you to understand business, like get your mind like in that mind frame that, I have to do this as a business and not just as a hobby,
Right. Well, I loved Mary Kay so much. It was definitely one of my passions. I still actually wear Mary Kay to this day and will not wear anything else. I was very, very blessed with being in a very strong group that was top-notch in the nation, literally. I moved up really fast. I broke national records. I earned two cars, and I was on target for the pink Cadillac, which was amazing. I loved it, every bit of it. I think the main things that I learned about business, now this might be funny, is how to please people, how to make people feel good about themselves, and how to have your reputation upheld. And I know I preach about that a lot, but that's what gets you in life. Obviously, Mary Kay is more women-based. Yes, there are some men. But, it was a good Christian-based group where you can do it. It was a sisterhood, and we all joined together. I sold $15,000 in makeup this month. Let me tell you how I did it. Nobody was selfish. I sold $15,000. Woohoo! You bet you can't do that. No, that's not how it was. It was here. Let me show you. Let me help you. Mainly just finding, and this is everything about business. It's finding a need and then you fixing it. You see what I'm saying? And that's with everything. That could be, promo modeling. It could be regular modeling, fashion modeling. That could be, just daily life, helping family out, finding the need and fixing it. And if you can do that, you can make it. But just finding the confidence is what really helped me with Mary Kay. It was okay to, it was okay. Everybody messes up. You don't always get it the first time. You've got to keep trucking on, having faith in yourself and faith in God and faith in everything that you do wholeheartedly. If you do it wholeheartedly, you'll be success. And when you do it wholeheartedly, I'm saying do everything. That could be from, being a mother, being in a relationship, being in business, doing whatever. As long as you do it 100%, you'll make it. Even if you mess up 50% of the time, but you're giving 100%, you'll make it. And I think that never giving up and always pushing and finding the need and fixing it and finding my confidence, I didn't think that I was good enough for the longest. And I think Mary Kay taught me that for sure in the sisterhood.
You know
Yeah.
what? I completely agree with that. You're saying put everything wholeheartedly into it. You have to
Mhm.
have a passion for what you're doing to be able to do
Mhm.
that. And I think one of the problems a lot of girls are having is they're not looking at this as a passion, something that they just want to do every day. They're just looking at it as
Mhm.
I need a couple of bucks, and, and
Right.
and you're already failing when you go at it that way, because if it's
Right.
just about the money, then you're going to struggle because there. I
Mm.
mean, this is just like any other business. You're going to have obstacles and you're going to have trials and you're going to have bad nights and you know, and until you make it to the top levels, it's not even the life changing money that you would like it to be. You see the glamour, but you don't see the work behind it. And then
Right.
yeah, you don't understand why is that girl
Yes.
so successful. It's because she works her butt off and she's
Right.
conscious about what she's doing and how she represents herself, and she works hard at it. And so I like what you're saying about you have to be in it 100%. I mean, yes, you can do this as a hobby and a passion, but don't
Make
be
it
right,
wholeheartedly.
right.
And it could be something. Yeah, it always starts out as the money. But I mean, there's so many different aspects of promo and modeling, and it ties in together. I mean, from tastings for different various alcohol companies to bar club scenes, which is on and off premise. You'll learn that if you get into this business. Bar club scenes, and then you have the modeling, and you get picked up and you get asked. And as long as you are doing it to the best you can get picked up for everything. We've been in B Scene magazine a million times. We're getting a B Scene. Don't say anything about this, but well, I guess we already got it going. We're working on a big B Scene spread for Texas Young Guns for the Tyler Tyler
Okay.
magazine. I just got contacted yesterday from a company out of Canada wanting us to use all of their clothing for their new designs and stuff for a calendar. I've been in 4 commercials and music video. I actually talked to another guy that's actually a big singer here in Texas, and we're going to be in another video for him.
Mhm.
And he's wanting to come down and do a concert solely for Texas Young Guns. I mean, it's endless. We have a TV show for the Sportsman Channel. We have another hunting TV show coming out. If you do it to the best you can broaden your horizons with everything, and it's all about reputation.
And
I did not think that first Miller job was going to lead me into owning my own company, getting into modeling. All the promos in East Texas we've got almost every single alcohol distribution center out of Texas underneath our belt. And which is a very good thing as of last November. I'm excited.
mhm.
But I mean, to productions, to everything. And I never would have thought, but I always carried myself well, and I worked through everything. And even though I didn't want to go to work that day to a stupid tasting, I did. And I was there, and I was on time, ready to go, and I made an influence on somebody. And
Right,
everybody is always watching. And so, the sky's the limit. And
right.
and it's all how you portray yourself.
And that leads into the main thing I want to talk about in this podcast is about Texas Young Guns, which is the modeling agency that you started. And what the questions I want to ask you are this. First of all, tell us a little bit how I got started. Like, I know you have a partner.
Well, I don't anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
she's my assistant now.
okay. Okay. I got you. And also, we just talked about, how things can lead into other things because that's kind of what
Mhm.
was happening when I was in it for the brief time I was in it. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of girls, and this is part of the reason why I want to talk to you specifically, are in markets where there are no modeling agencies like Texas Young Guns that they can go to, and they're asking, how in the world do I do promo? Well, one of the ideas I've always had was, why don't you follow the same steps that Texas Young Guns did? Because you kind of made your own market in
Right.
Tyler. Because there's, like you're saying, either they're just not known or it's just that people don't have like modeling agencies that they can count on to have people come out and do promo for them. So it's not really
Right.
talked about a lot. And so
Mhm.
because the way I see from Facebook, from and following you guys, man, it seems like opportunities are coming out of the woodworks, and I'm like,
Yes.
where were all these people before? And then it
Yes.
kind of came to me, the bigger you grew, the more people saw that was an opportunity, and so they contact you, and you got more jobs and more jobs. And what I'm thinking
Okay.
is, like in the parts of the country where there's really no market, those
Mhm.
girls could do like you girls and just build your own market.
Mhm.
Start doing promos for bars, liquor stores, those type of places. And then what happens is there's a networking effect. People start to talk, they start to recommend, and next thing you know, you've got your own company doing promos for different people, um, and it can grow as big as you want it to grow, or you'll allow it to grow. Because what'll happen is you'll have to turn some stuff down if you're not wanting to grow,
Yeah.
and if you're
It
not
made me feel good the first couple of times I had to turn people down
right,
because I
exactly,
felt like I was actually getting established.
exactly.
So.
And so that's kind of like where I want to get into here a little bit. Not necessarily the 1, 2, 3 steps that you did, but
Right.
like
Right.
your experiences, and also girls that are in this area are probably going to want to know how they can, get involved in what you expect and what, what I'm saying. Like you've kind
Yeah.
of covered a little bit, but kind of like the specific things you are looking for and what you expect, because what you're looking for and what you expect is what other people are going to look for and expect. And you are an owner and you are recruiting girls to your company, and so this is a great opportunity for them to find out, from an owner's perspective, what it is that you like and what it is that you absolutely hate, and
Okay.
what goes on and stuff. So,
All right. Well, first of all, and I know that I've preached on this a lot, but it's reputation. I started my business that way. I started out being a Miller girl. I did Miller, Bud Light, Budweiser, Busch, all Anheuser-Busch's stuff, Jägermeister. I was a promo girl for every one of them. And whenever I say that, I'm saying bar and club scene. You're a normal, stereotypical girl. I've been on a tours poster. I've been on a couple posters. Gosh, it just, and it turned into also doing samples of all their tastings. What it is that companies, and they're always hiring. You can even go on Craigslist and find this out most of the time. You have to be TABC certified. That is a very big plus. If you're not, I'll still hire you. It's just before I put you to work. It's like $17.95. If you go to learntoserve.com, get on there. It does take a couple of hours to do it, but you have to be TABC certified. It's real simple. You literally watch videos and stuff like that, and then just take a quick test. And it's
I have a link to this. I have a link to this underneath this podcast. And just to clarify for some people who may not know what TVAC is, it's basically a test that you have to take about alcohol in the state of Texas.
And what it is it's so that you can serve it. It's not
right.
so that you can drink it. You have to be a minimum age of 18, and it's literally so you can handle it. So you can touch the alcohol, you can hand it over to somebody else. It's technically illegal if you are not TABC certified to be able to handle alcohol. I know it sounds funny, but everybody that's ever worked in a restaurant, been a bartender, or anything like that, and it certifies you for a full year. Or it might be 2. I think it's 2.
I think it's 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. It's about time for me to renew mine now I'm thinking about it. But anyways, yeah. So I literally got started by doing that, and I would do tastings for Anheuser-Busch and Miller and Giglio, and you'll learn a whole bunch of different names and stuff that gets involved. And it just, everybody would always come to me and go, "You do such a great job. You boost our products. You do a good job. You're so fun and outgoing. Everybody loves you. Do you have any friends?" And so I'd go, "Well, yeah, I have friends." Well, I was working so many different markets. So I was working every market of alcohol to where everybody was asking me for girls. Well, business-minded, right?
Right.
I said, "Fine, I'll get you more girls if you raise my pay." Simple as that. I'm doing your job of recruiting. I'll bring you the girls if you raise my pay. So after a year of that, I finally stepped back and said, "What am I doing? Everybody wants me. I've hired all these other girls for these people." So I got them all to sign contracts with me and started my own company, which everybody knew my reputation. They all wanted me. I was like the leader of everything. And so I started my own company. It did start out as just promotional models. This agency is very, very, very hard. You have to be strong and very dominant. And I have been there, done that with a lot of things. But the market here in East Texas, everybody tells me it's harder than anything else, but this is all I know.
Right.
Is promo here in East Texas. We've expanded actually from Lufkin all the way up to Dallas. I have bars that call me every weekend begging for me to bring my girls up there. And they sponsor everything. We've gone from just promo models to event models. We've done here lately, it's mudding season, so we've done a lot of mudding events. We give away like Bud Light neons and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, people, this is Texas. We do mudding down here.
Yes. It's so much fun. I had a production company that actually called me last week. She goes, I heard that y'all have mud holes down in Texas. And I was like, well, yes, ma'am. And she said, well, I'm from Germany, and we're looking for a group of girls that we can, sponsor to do this production for this, she didn't say mudding. She said for mudding and hole videos. Right. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. I was like, we do it like every weekend. We have a blast. I'll show you exactly where to go. And she goes, you do this for fun, for entertainment? And I was like, yes, ma'am. We do, but I've gotten it to where we get paid to get muddy. So, and she thought it was the funniest thing. But, I mean, from events that everybody sponsors, modeling got brought into this a lot. Like I said, we've been in a couple magazines, calendar shoots and stuff like that. We just did a new swimwear line. It's literally, this business is hard to get in. And once you get in, you're good. Right. Once you get in, you're good if you have a good personality and you're responsible. I mean, I'm the type of person, you call and you want to work for me, sure, I'm willing to give everybody a shot. Do exactly what I tell you. I'd like to get a resume so I know exactly what you do and what your plans are, if you have any goals in life, and also photos. That's a big important thing. A headshot and a full body shot. And whenever I say that, if you're bikini ready, I want a bikini picture. Just so I can see there's a purpose behind everything. If I have a client that wants girls to wear crop tops, I'm not going to be able to put somebody who's, 150 pounds in a crop top shirt. And that's not being stereotypical or anything like that. I just have to put the right girls with the right clients. And it does not have to be professional. And it's just, those are the things I look at. And then I get to know you a little better. We'll have a meeting and all that stuff and see which way I could put you and, what I think you're good with. This market, it's a hard market, especially since Tyler's dry.
Right.
But they have only a couple bars. But we work Longview and Dallas like crazy. We took over Gunbarrel City and I mean, just all the little towns and the bigger towns. We're actually working on Shreveport right now, too. It's just, the sky's the limit. And I'm constantly hiring. And I'm constantly firing. I do the 3 strikes, you're out. If I don't think that you're upholding your side of the deal and you're being responsible or you're not showing up on time, or if you show up not ready, I'll send you home. Give me your Texas Young Gun shirt or your Miller shirt or your dress or whatever you have on for my sponsored company, give it back, and, you're not working for me anymore.
Let me cut in right quick.
Okay.
Because you and I have talked about the 3 strikes. And let me explain to anybody that's listening, to our listeners, about 3 strikes and the reason why you have to do this. It's not because you're being mean. It's not because you're trying to be, strict. But in a way you are, because you have to be. Remember, this whole business is built upon reputation. Everything's built upon reputation. And all it takes is for one bad incident for you to lose an account with somebody. For you to, and then that starts.
Well, and the deal is, I'm not going to lose a couple grand off of a girl that, I didn't know was drinking or taking shots or something like that, and she's peeing in the parking lot. Well, I just lost a couple thousand. You might have lost a couple hundred, but I just lost an account.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's not happening.
And then there's a domino effect when you do great work. There's a domino effect when you do bad work, because remember, especially in small towns, owners know owners. And so where they will recommend you, they'll also go around and say, do not hire this company. So, and your girls, they are your brand. You represent me. And so just from my own personal experiences, from talking to you, you have to, 3 strikes is actually a lot. It sounds bad,
I
but
don't
it's
get
not.
3 strikes. It depends on how bad it is. I mean, 3 strikes is, you're not ready and prepared. You're not selling as, or you're not portraying yourself very well. You look like a bump on the log. You're lazy. That's a strike. I'll give you another one. Now, if you drink on the drop or something like that, you're done. Because you yourself, you're a liability to the company.
Here's a strike. Most promo girls, models are ladies with children, believe it or not.
Yes.
And so, believe it or not, your child is not an excuse for being late or not showing up. Because if you say I can do a job, it's just like if you had a government job. They're not going to accept, I couldn't find a babysitter. You're going to get fired eventually. That's just what it is. Well, this business is even more dependent upon you being there, because if you don't show up, you might only had 3 girls scheduled to be there, and they expect 3 people to be there. So if you understand that, if you don't show up, now I got to try to find somebody on the fly, and most people are busy, especially at this age, from 18 to 25. Most people, if you don't let them know ahead of time, they're already made plans and they're not coming in. So that's why.
And then you also have some other girls that are dying to have that position. If you don't show up at all, and you have some lame excuse, you're fired from me. I can't do it. Sometimes, like if there's tastings and stuff, it might be just one girl, and if that one girl doesn't show up, the whole account shut down.
Right.
And there isn't an excuse. If you call me and you literally say, this is exactly what happened, I'm so sorry, I will, keep you updated on the situation, I'm not going to be able to make it. If it's legitimate, then okay. But I'm not joking, Paul, I've never told you this. This is funny. I've actually had a girl before, and she has one child, a son, that had a birthday party. His birthday was 3 times in 1 year.
Really?
And really? You're done, girl.
Wow.
You have one child. Yes, and it was the day before, whenever she had already signed up and all that stuff. And the day of or the day before, she's going, my son has a birthday party. I forgot to tell you. Well, if you're a good mom, you lying sucker, you're going to have weeks to plan this.
Right.
You wouldn't sign up for work on that day. So it's just, that's your out.
I'm with you. I've heard excuses I never would have even dreamed of hearing. And, and the problem is you befriend girls or your employees so you feel bad. Because I'm 29.
I have to draw the line.
That's what I'm saying. You have to draw that line. And see, I'm 29, and most of the people I was hiring were like 21, 22. You're 26? 5?
I'm 25, yeah. And
so
my girls I've hired girls older than me.
Right. So these are your peers.
But I'm still the boss, yeah.
So it's kind of like you have to have a line already drawn in the sand. If you're planning on starting your own company, have that line already drawn so that when they cross it, you can say, hey, I'm not doing this to you. You just didn't follow the rules. I'm sorry, and you're costing me money. Friendship is friendship, but business is business. And we're really pounding this because if you're going to do this, you need to understand this so you don't fall in the same quicksand pits that we were in. You're in this situation and you don't know how to get out of it because, it can wreck your reputation. So
right. Well, and I'm wanting to voice this because, and I hope the girl that had her son had the 3 birthdays is actually going to listen to this. I think that's hilarious. But I do want to say that, we're not sitting here dogging. We love this company. We love this business. We love it all. We wouldn't be here trying to make a living off of it if we didn't have a passion.
Right, exactly.
It's more like along the lines pre-warning. If you're scared and you think that you may end up getting fired before you even get hired, don't apply. Don't apply because I need strong women that are wanting to join this. I'm actually having a banquet, a Texas Young Guns banquet here in the next month or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally going to be open to whoever wants to come and be a part of it. And to be able to build business and be with us. And then I've also come up with this different idea on how you can make an owner's salary like what I make working underneath me.
Okay.
And it's really good information. I think that everybody would be interested. Paul, you should come.
Okay.
But it's going to tell you, I'm going to reward my girls and stuff like that. I have a bunch of jewelry and stuff I'm going to hand down. Really gearing up. This is going to be a good bash. And it's something that it's a fun company. You can make it part-time. Most of it is part-time, not through weekends. It's normally the busiest. But a lot of stuff is during the week too. It's how you carry yourself.
Right.
You can make it individually or independently contracted through each company. So what that means is that you govern yourself pretty much. You work for me. You have a boss. But as far as taxes and stuff is concerned, everything is a tax write-off. You are self-employed technically, but driving to and from a promo, you get to write it off as a tax write-off, the mileage.
Right.
If you get your nails done or your hair done or want to go shopping for a new shirt or something for, a new promo event, new blue jean shorts, new boots or something like that, it's a tax write-off. Save your receipts for everything. And that's always a good thing. I always thought that was always fun, even as far as tanning. Oh, Texas Young Guns, we're sponsored by True Tan.
Really?
If you work for me, you get all your stuff discounted and really, really cheap. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. And it's what you make of yourself, so.
Oh, the perks and the glamour.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we get muddy, too, so it's not all glamour.
Right. But I know, we just kind of talked about the negative sides of it, but the positives, they outweigh the negative. It's like we just want to be transparent and let you know that this isn't all glamour. This is a business, and there's business challenges that you're going to deal with if you decide to do this, whether you're trying to start your own business or if you're just trying to be a part of a business, And so I think we've done a lot of good and provided a lot of value to our listeners. How can anyone that's listening find you online? I know you have a Facebook page, and I know you have a website and an email that they can contact you. I'll have a link to everything down below the podcast. So just go ahead and tell everybody how they can find you.
Yeah, well, my name's Franki Osburn, and I know you're going to have a hard time Googling it or whatever, or Facebooking it. It's Franki with an I, and then Osburn, Osburn. I'm the direct owner, obviously. You can find us on Facebook at Texas Young Guns, LLC.com. Now, there's periods in between LLC. We also have a website that has a contact link, and it's Texas Young Guns, LLC with no periods. So, TexasYoungGunsLLC.com. And then if you want to directly get hooked up with my email, it's just TexasYoungGuns@gmail.com. So it's normally it's really, really easy to find. Right now, which I'm thinking I'm going to leave my profile picture as, is my Texas Young Guns brand, which is TYG. The public kind of came up with the TYG girls, and it's a lot shorter, obviously, than saying Texas Young Guns. But if you're interested and you think you're the right girl for the job and you have ambitions and goals in life and you're positive and outgoing, contact me. I'm always up for hire. So we have different clients literally daily, and it's really starting to get real busy, and we have a good program put together, and it's about to get even better. I'm really excited about some good upcoming stuff. Also, the ability to make more money. Because I figured out a little scheme that I want to do, pretty much like a bonus plan is what I'm going to do with my girls, which you can make some really good money at. So if you're interested, and you don't work nights or if you don't work evenings or weekends, then it's a good potential job for you. I don't require you to show up to every single event. I have enough girls to where it's first come, first serve staffing. First come, first serve staffing. Excuse me, I got tongue-tied.
Right.
So I don't require you to work every single event. I know life happens and you have plans. It's the summer, vacation. But if you want to get on the list and get together, just contact me.
I know people are asking this question in their minds. What is the range of where a girl might live that it would be worth her time to contact you, as far as Dallas? You said Lufkin, I think you said earlier.
I have, from Dallas to Lufkin, I have a lot of girls. Obviously concentrated areas, Tyler, Longview, Dallas. Work is everywhere. Sometimes we travel together. Sometimes we, meet up, and you still get reimbursed for all your travels and stuff. But there's something going on everywhere. I have girls that live in Athens that drive to Tyler. I have girls that live in Hallsville and Marshall and Carthage that drive to Longview promos. It's just, whatever area you're concentrated in. As business grows, places grow. Jacksonville's opened up a lot. We just did an event in Marshall. So just wherever. And it may require you some travel time. I mean, I travel all over.
Right. Right. That's something I always kind of tell you. You kind of have to expect to travel. Unless you live in a very big market, you might as well get ready to travel if you plan on doing this. But have a plan in place. And we're not going to get into this because this call is, an hour long now. But just have a plan in place and be ready to travel. And the more work you do, the more experience you get, the more people you're going to meet, the more opportunities are going to open up, as Franki has been kind of sharing with us today. Opportunities will come out of the woodworks if you do good work,
Mm-hmm.
So,
for sure.
So thank you very much.
Well, and it's a really good sisterhood. It's very good sisterhood. A lot of people stick together with deals. We make friends real fast, and our girls, oh my gosh, I have such a good set of girls right now. I'm very, very blessed, and it's because I weed out those negative Nellies. But we're always open to be a part of us. Thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciate you taking time and talking to me and all that stuff. I always think it's good to, let girls know that they can be a part of something. And that
right. And we
are beautiful enough.
We thank you for coming on because you provide us with a lot of good information. I think the girls are really going to love these podcasts and love this one in particular because it's about how to get started in a small market, which is where most of the girls are at. And you've really kind of opened up some light to, what all it takes to be successful. And so we thank you for everything that you've shared with us today. So,
thank you.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast. And thank you for joining us.
All right. Thanks, girls, and I'll talk to you soon, Paul. I know it's a call, Paul. Y'all have a good day and get your promoing.
And that's it for the first episode of the American Wing Girls Modeling Podcast. I want to thank Franki for coming on the call, for sharing that great information and her experiences. I believe is provide a lot of value to our listeners. I want to invite anyone listening to join our community. If you haven't already done so, you can go to the homepage of AmericanWingGirls.com and get some information about it there. Or you can also go below this podcast and there will be a link to the community where you can join our community. It's free. We try to help each other about jobs that are coming up available. We have a few recruiters that like for ATN and other companies that help post jobs about what's available for the bigger companies. Franki herself is a part of our community, so you can ask her questions there. Just tag her in the post and she'll find it. You know how Facebook works. But basically, we just invite you to be a part of this community. We plan on doing more podcast episodes with other promotional models and recruiters. And also, it'll be about modeling and photography in general, about print models and fashion models and fitness models and photographers and anybody that's associated with the industry. But that's it for this first episode, and we surely hope that you join us for the next one. All right, we'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to the American Wing Girls Modeling Podcast. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.americanwinggirls.com, to your friends and colleagues. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been an American Wing Girls production. Join us next time for another edition of the American Wing Girls Podcast.